Welcome everyone. As a recording of this video, it is Monday, 24 April 2023. Today's video, I'm at the Unser Museum in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now, Albuquerque is famous for TV shows like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, or even Bugs Bunny with his famous line, "I knew I should have taken a left turn in Albuquerque." I know the Unsers are a famous racing family, but a racing museum in Albuquerque just doesn't fit for me. I mean, when you think about Albuquerque, I don't think anyone thinks about racing. There's no tracks here. There's no Indy. There's no F1. There's no NASCAR. So I'm not expecting much. But, like I said, the Unsers are pretty famous. So who knows, maybe we'll be surprised. I'm inviting you to join me. Won't you? I like these little race cars and these lights along the pathway. I bet this looks pretty good lit up at night. Well, they have these mile markers up here with distances to these racetracks. And there's Le Mans, Las Vegas, Talladega. And there's Pikes Peak, Daytona, and of course, Indianapolis. A steering wheel for door handles. Nice touch. And the price for admission is pretty reasonable.
We've had 4 generations of Unsers that have raced. Everybody that has raced has a flag by their name. The first 3 generations that have flags by their name have all raced at Pikes Peak for a total of 39 wins up there. And I'll talk more about that when we get to our Pikes Peak room. And now we have added a 4th generation. Lonnie competed at Pikes Peak last June, and she came in 2nd in her division. And she is Johnny's daughter, and she's been racing in the Mazda Miata series. Her cousins Jason and Dylan have been racing modified sprints locally and around the Southwest. They're Mary's sons, us are Al's grandsons, but their last name is Tanner. And I'll talk about everybody that has a flag by their name as we go through the museum. Here we have our 3 500 winners. Al Sr., who won 4 times, Bobby, who won 3 times, the Junior, who won twice. I call this our 1994 corner because everything in it relates to Junior's 94 season. This is the fire suit he was wearing when he won the 500 that year. And this is the model of the car that he drove. To get ready for the 94 season, Penske built these models and put them into a miniature wind tunnel. And when they did, they discovered a lot of things that needed to be changed. So they did all the modifications on the car before they built the full-size car. One of the things they discovered was all the turbulence that was happening back here. So they put this fin on it, and it streamlined the air over the back of the car, thus holding the car better to the track. Penske's teams had a fantastic year. Junior won half of the races. Emerson Fittipaldi and Paul Tracy won 5 more of the races. So 13 of the 16 races were won by Penske drivers. They also came in 1, 2, 3, 5 times, and they were 1, 2, 3 in the championship, with Junior winning the championship. With that fantastic history behind this model, for insurance purposes, this model is valued at $1 million. Whoa. The car in front of you is the car that Al Sr. drove to his 4th win at Indy. Our museum is set up like a wheel, with the walls being the spokes of the wheel. Each of our rooms gives a little different aspect of the Unser history. Our first room is our Pikes Peak room. The Unsers came from Switzerland in the 1890s, first to Indiana and then out to Colorado Springs. Outside of Colorado Springs is Pikes Peak. A gentleman built a road to the top of it, and the next year decided to have a race. So the Unsers have a connection to 2 of the oldest races in the country, the 500 and the hill climb. All of the cars in here are winning cars by the Unsers. Our next room is our 500 room. Starting with Bobby winning in 68 with this car, went on to win in 75 and 81. Our next room is Jerry's garage. Jerry is Bobby and Al, Jerry Jr. and Louie's father. He brought the family from Colorado Springs to Albuquerque in 1936. There had been this major road built in Chicago to LA, Route 66. Jerry was a mechanic and saw an opportunity. Had a shop just west of Old Town and then later moved to the top of the hill, which today is named for them, Unser and Central. He was the last garage as you left town with a sign that said no gas for 50 miles. Back in the 40s and 50s, you'd better have a full tank of gas when you left Albuquerque. So it wasn't until 58 that we finally had an Unser in the 500. We lost Bobby in May of 21. We lost his son Bobby Jr. 6 weeks later. We lost Al in December of 21. And this is our special exhibits room. Our main emphasis are two wheels. Most of the bikes in here are over 100 years old. The video in this room tells you about board racing, which was raced on a board surface that was at this angle. And then we have a 101-year-old Model T. The thing that's unique about this car is that everything on it is original.
First engineered is a 1968 Offenhauser 159 turbo, then a Ford V8 turbo, Cosworth 2.65 liter, Chevy 2.5 liter V6, Ilmor Chevy Indy turbo V8, and ends with a Chevy 3.5 liter V8. Check out the jackets in this display case. Pretty nice.
I've covered everything in here. There's another building which has
Now these are a couple cars that would have been used in the Pikes Peak race. The red car was built by Jerry Unser in his garage in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is a car that Al Unser built to race in the Pikes Peak race. He finished second the year that he built it, and unfortunately the second year he wrecked it, but it was rebuilt. This is the original car. This car is called the Johnny Lightning Special, and Al Unser drove this to his second victory in the Indy 500 in 1971. This is the car that Al Unser drove to victory in the inaugural Gateway Indy 250 in St. Louis. This is a 1994 Dodge Avenger that Al Unser Jr. drove in the IROC series. And the fans, rightfully so, dubbed this the Pink Panther. I like that name, the Pink Panther. It fits. This is a Ford Cobra reproduction, and it was one of only 200 built in 1994. And it was Al Unser's Sunday drive.
In 1958, Jerry Jr. qualified for the Indy 500 in his rookie attempt. Unser had made the show.
This is a 1970 Oldsmobile 442. It was the pace car in the 1970 greatest spectacle in racing. It was driven by former Indy 500 winner Roger Ward to bring the field of 33 cars to the green flag. At the end of the day, it was awarded to the 1970 winning driver Al Unser. This is a 1994 Indy car. Al Unser Jr. drove this Marlboro number 31 to his second Indianapolis 500 win and his second kart championship.
National championships in 19.
The museum staff says they don't have any information on this car, that it just came in. So if you know anything about what this car might be, what year it may be from, Leave a comment below.
A new face to a track rat named Al Unser. Strapped himself behind the wheel and
Al Senior's son arrives, this little tow-head guy, red hair. I remember watching him hands in the air. How because he was so
Look at this car. What kid, or really what adult, wouldn't love to drive this car around? That's if you could fit in it.
little Al, as far as I'm concerned, always a team player. He was Al. He was up there. He was up there. Almost up there.
That's a beautiful looking yellow car. The detail in these little picture frames are pretty nice. I would hang this neon sign up in my house. It's beautiful. Yeah, restored Texaco wiper blade storage box. Pretty nice. This vehicle is called the Mighty Microbe and was given to Al Jr. when he was 8 years old. It was restored and brought to this museum. There's only 7 of these known to exist.
Kind of like this, Art.
Yeah. I brought one to car show.
This is a 1922 Ford Model T, dubbed the Tin Lizzie. I really like that name. And as you heard the tour guide in the beginning of this video, it's all original parts. Now look at these old motorcycles. This is a 1929 Henderson, a 1909 Indian, and a 1914 Eagle. And up here you have a 1913 Yale and a 1911 Harley Davidson. Beautiful motorcycles. Now this is the second building in the museum. I'm told there's some really nice vehicles in here and memorabilia. Now let's go check it out. A nice painting and a couple trophies there. I can't really tell what they're from. And this little guy is a Sanborn quarter midget. Cute little car. And some kids' racing suits. What kid wouldn't love to wear those? And they have some great artwork up on the walls.
We're stragglers. We're stragglers.
That's okay.
You have to take everything in.
This painting commemorates Al Unser as a 1970 Marlboro champion. Wow, a lot of signatures on this 1995 ESPYs poster. If you recognize any of these signatures, leave a comment below. Tell us who they are. This is a 1991 fully customized Harley Davidson that belonged to Al Jr.
This is an interesting one in that there's one picture there that does not have a signature on it. He lost his life 4 days after this race, but they would have signed these after. Fans give people various things, and this was a blanket or a quilt that some fan made for Al, showing his 4 wins at Indy.
And this looks like some sort of NASCAR vehicle. Not sure from what year. Yeah, this is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s winning car from the 2012 Michigan 400. A 1946 Chevrolet Business Coupe. A beautiful looking vehicle. And a 1941 Chevy pickup. Beautiful. A 1930 Ford Model A pickup. Yeah, some old equipment that you would have seen in garages back in the day. Just a whole bunch of little midget cars back here.
Jerry's garage that Jerry would have earned his living with and going on the first lap, and so didn't get finished the race, but came in 14. And then we have Midget Field.
This is a Coors Light Silver Bullet. Al Unser Jr. raced this car in the 1984 IndyCar World Series. This is a 1986 March Craco Indy car. Yeah, a couple of cool soapbox derby cars. And they have some pace cars on display. This is a 1994 Ford Mustang Cobra, a Cadillac, an 87 Chrysler LeBaron. Costanza would agree with this one. And my favorite, a 1978 Corvette.
Well, those are for
And look at that.
younger people or your
Is that Winnie the Pooh?
You would fit in it.
He's sitting in the passenger seat.
And the black one.
And I'm pretty sure these are all dirt cars. Someone can correct me below in the comments if I'm wrong.
Not when he won Michigan in 2012. We have a couple of 1940 Chevrolets, and then
This is an overview of the second building in the museum. Now look at all these cars. There's a lot of money in here. A lot of history.
so we have Al Senior's trophies from our local track here, and these are his brother Jerry's from that same local track about 4 years earlier. Jerry was in the Navy and was stationed in Hawaii. So there was a track near the base. So what does Jerry do? He races. He was champion of the track one year and runner-up another year. He came back to the States and raced in the stock car division of USAC, winning the stock car championship in 1975. On the second set of shelving is that stock car championship trophy. It has the Hudson Hornet on the top of it. Kind of gets lost within there. We do have a lady that comes in and does that.
This glassed-in area is closed to the public and even has a museum curator. They're the only ones allowed in. Wow, and check out this ornate rifle. Amazing.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So this is from the Hoosier Hunt. And see, we're going to come to the studio in the front. He holds the track order. We come in to take his trophy home. The track order says, no, it stays here. I agree.
And Phil Jackson presented Al Unser Jr. with the jersey in 2001.
And Cedar said, I come back this year with this race. I'm taking the trophy home. Track order said, you said, come back next year with the race. You can have it.
Mickey approves this museum.
You understand where the little loving go.
I came into this museum expecting to get maybe 1 or 2 minutes to include in an overall video about Albuquerque. But to my surprise, this is a world-class museum. So if you ever find yourself making a left turn in Albuquerque, make sure you stop by the Unser Museum. It's pretty awesome. That's going to do it for today's video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and like my videos. It'll help my channel grow. I'll see you on the next video. I'm out.